Happy Tuesday morning, everybody. I'm along the Tieton River today. Beautiful morning. Sun in the south part of the sky. Kind of breezy, but good conditions. The Cascades are behind me. White Pass, US Highway 12 coming down through this valley. And behind you, about 30 miles or so, is Yakima, Washington. The topic today, the Tieton Andesite lava flow that came through this valley during the Ice Age. Let's look at it carefully. Hope you enjoy this little program. So the old white car is down there next to the Tieton River. I'll give you the link in the description below on where to park and how to find this little trail across the road. I'm on the north side of the highway, Highway 12. And the sun just feels really good. It's an icy cold wind at my back at the moment coming off of the Cascades. I'm sure there was snow here just a couple days ago, but it's melting back, and a lot of looks like a bunch of elk have been enjoying themselves up here recently. And this trail is new to me. I didn't know about it. But I just wanted to come up here and not only give you a little bit better look at these Tieton Andesite columns, but also to break open some of the Tieton Andesite, because it looks very different from the basalt. It's a very handsome hand sample rock. I think you'll know what I mean in just a second. And then finally, if I can find a protected spot out of the wind. I don't know, maybe I need to go around that corner, get out of the wind, so the pages don't fly away. I brought some handouts to share with you. Now please notice that we have a basal colonnade. Yeah, I'm going to show you some images in a second, some diagrams, but this is not basalt. I know that's a shock to many of you. It is possible to have andesite lava, even though it's stiffer viscosity-wise, and even though it's a little bit higher in silica than a regular basalt flow. It is possible to get these beautiful fat columns. I mean, if the conditions are right, you can even get columns in rhyolite, you must know. But here's a great spot to see that we have a colonnade section at the base of this single flow, and then we lose the columns and we have this kind of chopped up area known as the entablature. So colonnade and entablature, we use those terms for basalt flows as well. There's still debate about the physics of this and why the columns form so beautifully and then they kind of wimp out as you get higher into the flow. I'm noticing now that this is a rock climbing place. Thinking of Randy Lewis now. All right. So let's just keep it rolling. So can you find these columns other places in this valley? Yes, absolutely. Closer to the road, closer to the highway, closer to Oak Creek area and the intersection with 410, where I was with Liz a couple days ago. Those columns are dramatic. But these are the same columns. It's just that we're perched high up on the valley wall. Okay, I got a decent spot right here. Let me get this. Ready? Hi-ya! Too far. I got a good seating spot. Too far. Got a good seating spot. God bless. This is the Tieton Andesite, and if you are interested in coming to visit these scraps of the Tieton Andesite, and you're not sure you're in the German chocolate cake or not, if you break open and see this is the telltale look of the Tieton Andesite. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, it's unusual to have a lava flow with such a consistently dense collection of these plagioclase feldspar phenocrysts. That's what these are. I mean, this is not, I didn't just luck out here. I mean, this is tons and tons of rock of the Tieton Andesite that has this look. All right, let's look at a map. Ellensburg, drove south. City of Yakima. Now, once we get towards Cowiche Canyon, so this is Cowiche Canyon, west of Yakima, do you see we have PQV? Here's Natchez. So it's this tableland here called Natchez Heights between the Natchez River and Cowiche Creek. That's the well intact Tieton Andesite lava flow. Last video, Liz and I were up here on Clemens, remember? High, the craggy stuff. We were looking south onto the Tieton. Tieton Andesite doesn't get any farther than Cowiche Creek. The approach is Fred Meyer, but not quite. Okay. So I'm saying today in this video that the source of this Tieton Andesite lava flow is way the hell up here in something called the Goat Rocks Wilderness. And that is confirmed now. That's not a guess anymore. But you're like, but why don't we have then a continuous finger of Tieton Andesite lava all the way down, approaching the Fred Meyer and Yakima? And the reason is we have some of it here, Tieton Andesite, some of it here, Tieton Andesite, but most of it has been sculpted or eroded or excavated out of this main stretch of the Tieton River Canyon. And that's where I am, man. The Tieton Andesite used to fill this entire valley, but it's mostly gone. It's been eroded out of here. It's been scalloped out of here. That's why I'm up here today. There are a few little remnants with these thick columns. The little remnants that are hanging in this valley between the end of the line and the source. This is 50 miles. Yeah, I'm saying that there was an andesite lava flow that traveled 50 miles. That in itself is kind of hard to believe, but it's real. Okay, so this is me from a field trip that I led 5 years ago. It's kind of what I was just trying to tell you, but it's got a little bit of extra detail as well. So Mount Rainier, well-known landmark. These are highways, US 12, up and over White Pass, down past Rimrock Lake, and right now we're about here, end of the line for the Tieton Andesite flow. So yes, between 2.6 and 0.6 million years ago, in other words, during the Ice Age, there was a dominant-looking cone volcano, intact and erupting material, thousands of times, called the Goat Rocks volcano. It's been dead for 600,000 years. But when it was dominant, it was sending andesite lava flows on occasion away from its source. So you can think of Mount Rainier today as what the Goat Rocks volcano looked like during the Ice Age. And yeah, there's other places where Paul Hammond and others have mapped examples of other ghost volcanoes that used to stand in this neighborhood, and those are the dates. But what I'm trying to convey to you now is that even though once upon a time the Tieton Andesite lava filled this entire valley, came all the way down this narrow canyon and approached Yakima, that part is still intact, this part is still intact, but where I am today, there's just a few little remnants perched high in the walls of this river canyon. Now let me find, yes. So this is from Daryl Gussie, a co-worker of Paul Hammond. And we're south of Rimrock Lake, and we can see this is the other intact place where it's a tableland, and that Tieton Andesite flow is sitting there pretty much as it was back then. So at time A, we have an old Tieton River valley carved into the German chocolate cake. Remember, that's 16 million years old. And we had two distinctly different eruptions of Tieton Andesite from the Goat Rocks volcano. The first one was a monster flow. And with Daryl Gussie's work, we now have a very precise date, 1.64 million years. I forget the error on those guys. And we fill this canyon up higher than where I am now. Between 1.64 and 1.39. We erode almost all of this Tieton Andesite. And the only scraps we have left of that giant Tieton Andesite in purple are plastered along the wall. They were not completely scoured out of this valley. The second andesite, called the Tieton Andesite, is this age, 1.39, and it wasn't nearly as voluminous. And it just filled the valley bottom, and that also has been scoured out a bit. But the final little shots I'm going to give you of these beautiful fat columns are from the first flow, 1.64 million years ago. And depending on how good your eyes are, you can see other scraps of that Tieton Andesite. We are losing the sun. Wow. Okay, I'm glad I got out here when I did. I kind of half remember some of the discussions and the papers we read about the physics. It's a weakness of mine for sure, but the physics of what conditions are ripe for forming columns. I think one of the ideas is you need to take that molten lava and confine it somehow. Like in a valley like this. If you don't allow that lava to spread out, but you have it kind of packed into this, it's hot liquid now, but you pack it into a narrow canyon like this, it's more likely to form this basal colonnade. You're trapping the heat, and as you slowly cool that dammed molten material, you crack. Now, as soon as I say that out loud, I'm like, oh yeah, there's all sorts of issues with that idea. The columns remain quite mysterious from my point of view. Yeah. That's it. That's what you're looking for. That's the smoking gun. This is the look. Isn't that something? Tieton Andesite. 1.64 million years old. Bouncy castle. Yes, I'm a big dude, so if the bridge can handle me, it can definitely handle you. Yeah. There's another remnant. Can you see the fat columns? And it's interesting here that the columns are perpendicular to the former valley floor. So we're on the flank of the valley now, 1.6 million years ago. So the columns are perpendicular to that. It is a handsome spot, I gotta say. And like most of this stuff, for years I was kind of just bothered by it. I would drive through here and like, I don't get why these columns look the way they do. Something's not right. It doesn't look like a normal Columbia basalt story. And then when I finally kind of figured it out based on all this work, it was very satisfying to learn it for myself, and then of course satisfying to share with those of you who have an interest. By now these are old friends, the same fat columns of the Tieton Andesite flow, the first of two. But now the light is good. Come on, man, that's good light. And what's exciting to me, and maybe to you, is that sharp boundary at the base of those cliffs is the shape of the valley. The shape of the Tieton River Valley 1.64 million years ago. And here comes that first major Tieton andesite filling the valley. And this is a remnant till to this day, because it's off to the side. But the main channel and the continuation of the columns from there to the columns from here, they were all flushed out. I mean, think of all the millions of Tootsie Rolls, andesite Tootsie Rolls now, flushed out. Maybe some outburst flooding. I mean, there was an alpine glacier that got out of the Cascades as far as Rimrock Dam, essentially, Tieton Dam. There's no evidence of glacial ice right in here. But the outwash, maybe catastrophic outwash, occasionally from that alpine ice sitting in the Rimrock Valley upstream from here, to me, that's the undersold part of this story. Like, where did all those columns, how do you get all those columns out of here so quickly? Because remember, from the pink and purple sketch, just a few 100,000 years later, there's a second andesite flow from the Tieton, from the Goat Rocks volcano, but it fills just the base. There's where I'm parked for this second stop. And I'll give you a location, a GPS location for this as well. You park right there by that shed. Many of you know that. It's kind of a landmark. Walk across the swinging bridge and then get yourself up here. An easy walk and a chance to get not only to the base of these columns, another place in addition to what I showed you before, but if it is the morning light, like we have right now, I suppose it's like, I don't know, 11 in the morning, something like that, this time of year. Oh, I love that light. I got to get that. I got to get one more shot of that. is it. I don't have to do it all again with you. You've already heard it. Just gets better and better though. I want to get around the corner here. I want to show you another little remnant. Oh, this is unexpectedly good right here. All right, this little domino is your landmark. You want a good lunch spot to sit and enjoy a geology lesson? Domino. The best shot I got for you. You know what we can do here? Let me quiz you. How much of what you see across the river is Tieton Andesite and how much is Columbia River basalt? I'll wait. Okay, I'm done waiting. Tieton Andesite. Tieton Andesite, that little plug that Highway 12 does the hairpin around. But everything else, German chocolate cake. Pretty good, huh? Don't fall, boy. Aww. Oh, got company. Red car. Red car, white car. Hiking back to the car. Sun's at my back now. I can't stop filming. This place is too cool. How could I have forgotten about this little canyon? My goodness. I hope you get here. Put this on your list. Easy to get to, not far from civilization, if that's a concern. Major U.S. highway coming right through. Thank you. I love you. And goodbye from the Tieton River Canyon, USA.